off the way. She's catching rat. She got it. Good job. Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. It's not exactly rocket science. Good morning. So we'll do the same. We'll chant the Vajradhara prayer and as Guru Yoga practice, and then we will chant Kamapachino just like yesterday. We'll do a little bit of meditation and then we'll go, through the text. It's page 97. In the Chirezik Satna, it's page 97. The Vajradhara prayer. Dorje chanchen te loyo nairo dang. Marapaya mi lai chu je gambo ma. Tu soy she jai kun che karma ma. Che she chun je gyo pan zen namandang. De ta ca su pa den ru pa. Che pe gom che la. Ye kur shen pa me par chen je lo. Me ge gong je go wur song pa yin. Me nga ter go je pe la ma la. Yuen do so wan de pe gom chen la. Je me me ge ge war chen ge lo. Ye me gong je me xie song bai xin. Gan shar to pye mo wo so man de. Ma che te karan jo pe gong chen la. Gom cha lo tan ta la war
Chire yama ye chire mangaro para kyarve gom chela korunde yereme to para chengelo kewa kundo yanda lama me chu chu pa la long ju yin sa da lam je yin de ran zo ne tor je chang ge gong pa nyu do yo karma boy ke no karma boy che no karma boy ke no karma boy che no karma boy ke no karma boy che no karma boy ke no karma boy ke karma boy ke no karma boy ke no karma boy ke no karma boy che karma boy ke no 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 karma boy che no karma boy ke no karma boy che no karma boy ke no karma boy ke no karma boy ke no karma boy ke no karma bhajan 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 Garma Bajano, Gama Bajano, Garma 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 Bajano, Karma vajano, 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 karma Garma vajano, garma vajano, garma vajano, garma vajano. Garma vajano. Sangye Chodaya Tsokye Chonam Changchoya Pardoya Danye Gyasuye Che Dagi Chushe Gipe Sunam Che Dalai Penjiraya Sangye Dobarisho Sangye Chodaya Tsokye Chonam Chancho Pardo dane kyabsu chi dagi chuje gebe senam chi dola penjara sanje do barisho sanje chodaya tsoje chonam lai chancho pardoya dane kyasu dāgī chūshī jīpē sēnām jī dōlā pēnjirā sāngyē dōbārī tam jē dēwā dāng dēwē gyō dāng dēmbarī chūjī dōngā dāng dōngā gē gyō dāng tāwarī chūjī Dungala mebe devaya tambaya tam mindala vare Yedan talvya tangyam chenpo lai ne parai churai ji Semche tamche devaya tam deve gyudan dembarai ji Dunga dan dunga ki gyudan tavarai Dungala mebe devaya tambaya tam mindala vare Nire chakda nidaya talvya tangyam chenpo la ne Semje tamje devaya tam deve gyudaya dembra Dunga da dunga ge gyudan Mebe devaya tambaya tam mindala vare Nire chakda nidaya talvya tangyam chenpo Nyabara churu Palden tsawe lama rinpoche dake kiwo pede den la sho kaden chimbe gune jisonde kusong toje ngodo tsaldo so Palden dorje changwa reki chabda lama karma pa jengur kunjen june sije panjo yedam dorje nanjurma Chinle kunchi chepo chuchong perche chamdar la nanjur kupe tse chen duto dame to ye kyong wa Meditation is born when our body and mind synchronize. Therefore, we have this, method called conducting the body and conducting the mind. The conducting of the body refers to, the 7 Vairocana postures, meaning 7 meditation postures. Vairocana is name of Buddha Vairocana. So anyway, in short, it means that. It's quite easy, really. Most of you may really already know that. The very first one from the posture point of view is sitting crossed leg. Then second is actually concerning the mudra of the hand. We called meditation mudra. That's how we do it, like when I was sitting like a second, right? The third usually is the shoulder. The shoulders, should be very straight. Generally, when we sit like this, it's automatically straight. So the shoulder comes very straight. And then it's actually the most important in the posture is the, spinal or the backbone. The backbone needs to be upright, straight, upright, like an arrow. It's how they say. This is because of the, channels, the left channel, the right channel, the center channel. So, and then it comes to the, fifth one, I guess, it's actually chin. We sort of bend our chin, or you could say neck, chin slightly. Sometimes I see some people, when we meditate, you like to do this, look up a little bit, So that's not, it's not wrong, but according to the meditate, because I'm thinking if I, look up, a little bit up, then I may be bending here a little bit, and then that may, disrupt the flow of the energies in the channel. This is my thinking, But actually, it's also true. If you do stay too long up, you also will have a pain, right? So it will disrupt the flow of the energy in our body. Generally speaking, I'm not a doctor, so therefore I don't really know. But I think that it is also linked or connected to how Kamapa used the word called mood. Actually, it's very true. It's connected with our feelings. So therefore, it can disrupt that, because if the if the channels or the flow of the energy, let's not say channels, the flow of the energy in our body, needs to be very natural, correct? Needs to be very natural. But when they are interrupted, disrupted, then, we can experience, let's say, we can experience different moods. Mood swing, let that mood swings also, anyhow, so just saying. So then after, therefore, it's advised that we bring our chin a little bit down. So when we meditate, not up like this, but slightly bend it down. So the sixth one, I'm guessing, is then the tongue. Here, according to the teaching, it says we sort of roll up our tongue, and it touches, I don't know how you call that, the upper part of our mouth. It says that it is to save energy, and also it is to help to, dripping of the saliva, because if you sit too long in meditation, usually saliva comes out. And also it says that, you won't be dehydrated, very easily, because you're saving the water. It's like a camel, actually, sometimes. And then it's about the gazing, how do you do that? From the eyes, it's called gazing. Like in Mahamudra and in Dzogchen, we have this gazing stuff, but it is about that. When we are meditating, then it says we should look through the tip of the nose. If you look through the tip of the nose, then you won't be looking too far out there, correct? You would be pretty much looking straight in front of you. So that's the gazing part. As far as whether we should close our eyes or not, that's optional. If you feel that keeping your eyes closed helps you to have better concentration, then you should do that. But if you feel like when you close your eyes, you feel sleepy, then we should, not, of course, then we should naturally not keep our eyes closed. You could blink, I'm guessing, from time to time. So these are the 7 postures of meditation. Traditionally, we call it 7 postures of Buddha Vairochana. Somewhere I read, that Buddha Vairasana, you know, in Vajrayana we talk about transformation of many fives, five emotions, five aggregates, five elements, stuff like that. Here, this is about actually five aggregate. The aggregate of the form, when it is transformed into the Buddha Vairasana's form. There is a connection in Tibetan, like we say, tendal, something like that. Just an information. And then sometimes we add the eighth one to that. Usually there's seven, but the eighth one is very important actually, is the breath. Uh, and then it is also linked to the meditation, our very own breath that we breathe in and out, exhaling and inhaling. Actually, the wind. So the lung, we call it, right? The wind. When we meditate, let's say you are using your breath as a ground for your meditation, then we need to keep in mind that we want to breathe in a very proper manner. So it also connected with the longevity, in fact, actually. So you breathe out very gently, very slowly, and then it sort of reaches in front of you to the ground, let's say, and then there's a pause, correct? You cannot exactly breathe in, so there's a very short pause, and then we breathe in. When we breathe in, you breathe in all the way, and it goes all the way to the navel state, at the navel, and then it dissolves there. And then there's a pause. And then you freshly breathe out. So when you count in and out, is counted as one, as you can see that. There is a very good reason for that. Health-wise, actually, it's what I was told. We may not want to overuse our breath, so to speak. Okay, I'm not going to go too much in detail into that, but it is actually really regarding that. All right. Now so this is the conducting of the physical body in order to experience a good meditation, let's say, right? Now let's say we have, conducted. It is actually training, okay? It's not just happens. Over the, let's say, time, then gradually our energy in our body, lung, instead of lung, let's say energy, okay? The wind, let's say the energy. The most subtle waves, energy of this wind, that which is ridden by the most subtle mind, okay? Most subtle mind. Now, about the mind, then in the Mahamudra, so when we sit meditation, this is how we enter the meditation. It's quite easy. Actually, these are, based on the concept of the past, present, future. So when we are meditating, the very first thing is that we do not want to, think about the past. Okay, that's what it actually says. In Tibetan, okay, it actually means that I need to, okay, if I asked you guys a question, how do you remain in the present moment? Actually, it's about that. You remain in the present moment when your mind is not engaged either in the past thoughts or planning of the future, correct? It's as simple as that. If I am engaged in the past thoughts, I'm not in the present. And if I'm planning the future, how I am in the present moment, I'm not. So these two thoughts, the recollection of the past and then the planning of the future. These two, are the things that we try not to engage in there. And then one is very spontaneously, very naturally in the present moment of the mind. And when one is in the present moment of the mind, then the idea is that there is no room for conceptualization. And it is very true. How can this present mind that mind that has only a duration of split of a second, actually it's less than a split of a second, can have any conceptualizations? It's without any conceptualization, so to speak. But nonetheless, and now let's say, so this is the, what we call as, synchronizing of the body and the mind. When there is this, you know, harmony, when this harmony between the body and the mind, this body not really the raw or this flesh and blood, but it's more about this most subtle energy level of the subtle wind, and then the most subtle consciousness actually. So when they are in harmony with each other, this is when the clarity, the meditation is born, and it's quite understandable. The reason we are not able to experience that is because that's not happening. The harmony, among, we can say, the body and the mind, it's very important actually. That's what we're trying to settle. Now, we could see that why there is bliss actually in the meditation is because of that. All right. So there's something I just wanted to share, and now okay. So yes, along with the 6 doctrines of Naropa, there are different names we write in English. Sometimes they say 6 doctrines of Naropa, 6 dharmas of Naropa, 6 yogas of Naropa. In Tibetan, we have one word, it actually is dharma, chetuk, we call naro, chetuk. Anyhow, so along with that, then like I was saying yesterday, in the Mahamudra, then there are these different meditation stages, correct? Yesterday I mentioned that already. I'm going to mention it one more time, and then we will, I will try to explain the very first one. So according to Mahamudra, the very first step or stage of the meditation is called one-pointed concentration. And like I said yesterday, that actually is from the 2 kinds of meditation of shamatha and vipassana. This is about vipassana, like I was mentioning yesterday. All right, so now I will again read one more time the third Kamapa's lines, and then I will, explain a little bit further. This is what the third Kamapa Mahamudra prayer says regarding the definition, meaning of calm abiding meditation. I did read it yesterday, but I'm going to read it again. Waves of gross and subtle thoughts pacified on the spot. This is very straightforward. It means a true meditation of the calm abiding happens when one becomes free from these 2 kinds of mind, the gross mind and the subtle mind. Both the gross mind and the subtle mind are of nature of destruction. So in short, it means when your mind is free of any kind of outer or inner distraction, then you are in a state of one-pointed concentration. Remaining in the river of unmoving mind, may we establish immutable oceanic shamatha, free from stains of sinking and fogginess. Yes. So the generally speaking, concerning the shamatha meditation, then or meditation in general, actually, there are these two, root obstacles, hindrances, we could say, and those are mental thinking and mental excitement. I'll explain that. Um so, meditation, when we define meditation, okay, meditation is a state of a mind of combination of or union of, concentration and clarity, correct? Concentration and clarity. Now, when we experience thinking, here Kamapa says fogginess, correct? uh, you can see that if my mind experiences thinking or fogginess or drowsiness, then we will lose one aspect of the meditation, that would be the clarity. There is clarity, but that clarity is diminishing, somehow fading. It's not that it's all gone, but it's fading. It's like eyesight actually, fading a little bit. This is a sign that, some sort of ignorance, we could say, because the drowsiness or fogginess, thinking, is linked with ignorance. When ignorance takes place, then of course our mind is blinded, right? Obscured. So this state of meditation, especially the clarity aspect, when it is obscured, then the reason behind that is none other than, ignorance. Foggy and all that is, as you can see, is actually a metaphor. If it's foggy, you won't be able to see it through. So it's just a metaphor. Anyway, now then in your meditation, let's say your clarity aspect is intact, but somehow concentration is shaky. If that's shaky, that is a proof that you are experiencing excitement. This excitement, Shamramche like to use agitated. It could be agitated, it's a little bit too strong word, but Rumche often used that agitation. I remember in Virginia, yeah, he liked to use that. But here, it basically means that excitement is good actually, but there are different levels of excitement. Whenever your mind is excited, even if it is something very unnoticeable, okay, then it disrupts the flow of your concentration actually. And this excitement is actually linked with, emotion-wise, it is linked with attachment or craving. You have this craving, you are attracted to certain things. That's why you get excited, Anyhow, so these are the mental thinking, mental excitement, okay, are the two main obstacle for our meditation. Now you can see they are the opposite of the quality of meditation, the quality of the clarity and the quality of concentration, correct? It's quite easy to know. From your own experience, you can actually see it, how it's happening. That's why Kamapa was saying here that, but it's not very easy to, get away with this two kinds of root obstacles, actually. um, it takes a great deal of time until the time we develop a very strong and a very advanced level of mindfulness and awareness. We won't be able to, we still will be experiencing this, mental sinking and mental excitement. There are two kinds, the gross and the subtle. You may have seen, some of you, we will go through this, there's something called 9 mental abiding. And then we write a tanka or a painting of that with a monkey, an elephant, and a monk, going through this stair thing. It's actually a very beautiful example. It, tells you the black is thinking, the monkey is distraction. Anyways, those kinds. And then slowly the monkey disappears. Slowly the elephant becomes all white, and then the monk who was following before, then he would be leading the elephant. That means leading the mind. These are very beautiful examples, actually. Physical examples are there. But we will brush through what are the mental abidings. It's, interesting to hear because we are learning about meditation in this class anyways. I mean, we are learning Mahamudra, but let's say meditation. Yes, so yeah, this we'll know again when we will explain that. All right. I wanted to, I wanted to give you guys a very comprehensive, complete teaching on meditation. That's why I'm actually bringing it up. Now, this is especially concerning the shamatha meditation. One of the source for teaching on shamatha meditation is, Bodhisattva Maitreya's book. Bodhisattva Maitreya gave 5 different types of teachings to a sangha, and it's famously known as 5 dharmas of who? 5 dharmas of Maitreya, Bodhisattva Maitreya. So from that, there is one that's actually called Madhyanta Vibhaga. Madhyanta Vibhaga. Okay, let's forget about the English version of that. So in that book, then he says that meditation is, shamatha meditation especially, is achieved when we overcome 5 faults by implementing 8 antidotes. So this is the first, let's say, one of the main source or ground that most of the teachers use to teach shamatha. That's one. And then the other one is Asanga. Asanga's book called Abhidharma Samukhya. Abhidharma Samukhya. In Abhidharma Samukhya, then he talks about the 9 mental abiding. It means 9 stages of the calm abiding meditation, and this is concerning desire realm. But this teaching is also found in Sutra Alankara, as well. In the Sutra Alankara by Bodhisattva Maitreya, from his 5 books, Sutra Alankara is one of them. In there you will also find the teachings on this 9 mental abiding, actually, the source of that. So anyway, I thought we will go through this. It may sound a lot, but it's not a lot. Now coming back to this, what are the 5? Oh. Okay, so then tomorrow we will, we will discuss about these aspects because we still have few days, and today I should teach. It's because it's really important to know the the source of the teachings, where they come from, and it's important to have a very comprehensive knowledge regarding the sources. Therefore I wanted to share it with all of you, because we talk about shamatha here, shamatha there, and then if you have no idea about these things, it's a little bit not very convincing, so to speak. So anyway. uh, we finished the first stanza yesterday. Let's say we did it. Now we'll start from the second one. Stanza number 2. Chagya Khenpo tentu mechi kyang perna namka khanki khangla ten rangsem chagya chela tenjul me ma che nyung me mang le lai shu. Okay, I'm looking at the translators and they need to translate that. Okay. Okay, so now before third Kamapa Rangjung Dorji, wrote an outline on this Tilopa's Mahamudra points actually. So it's explained through 7 different points, if I remember correctly. First, it's really about the view. So we will have, I think, 4, 5, or 6 different, I don't remember exactly how many numbers, but are about the view, okay? So then it gets easy for you to know, oh, okay, this is about the highest view, all right? So now English part. There is no teaching of Mahamudra. Yet an example is space. Upon what does it rely? Our mind, Mahamudra, likewise has no support, no remedying anything. Relax and settle in the unborn primordial state. Okay, Chagja Khenpo Tentu Mechi. It's so very true actually. So almost like directly pointing out, to the naked nature of the mind, the true nature of the mind, That's why he's saying that. If I understood it correctly, Tilopa is saying to Naropa, hey, look, it is impossible to point out in a physical way, what's the nature of the mind. It cannot be pointed out. What does that mean? That means it is something that can only and only be experienced directly by your own nature of the mind, nobody else. It does not mean it's not there. I, okay, Tilopa, as a teacher, cannot physically or literally show it in some ways to others. We very much therefore need to depend on the sign language, Chagya, the mudras. And if you are fortunate enough, if you are realized enough, you will see the sign. Through the sign, you will see the meaning, correct? You will see the, it's almost like sign language, correct? Sign language, actually. Secret sign language of the Mahamudra. Okay. So therefore, he gave the example of the space, you know. Just like space, space is free of any conditions, absolutely free of any conditions, beyond any conditions. Likewise, our mind is beyond any conditions of, lama, of teaching, of any kind, the true nature of the mind. Like everybody says that, meaning like all the Mahasiddha says that all you need to do is just look into your mind. That's it. That's the view. Your mind is the view. Besides your mind, there's no view. Milarepa says, everybody says that actually. Like there are these lines, it may come up later on, like third Karmapa says very often, there is no such thing as the looking mind, the, and the, let's see, the looking mind, the looked mind, so to speak, from the subject and object point of view. We think like that, There's a mind that's kind of looking. And then there's other mind that's being looked at. And then we think there's a contact. We're thinking absolutely from the dualistic point of view. We are way far away from the reality, actually. So we need to lose that. The one who is looking is the one that's being looked at. The one that's being looked at is the one that's looking at it. There is no two thing. Non-dual realization. It is the one that's looking at it. It is the one that's being looked. But in reality, there is no looking. There's not being looked at. It's all really, really free of any nature, free of any nature whatsoever. Mind, no mind, wisdom, no wisdom. Just when you look at that. We are thinking about the mechanism of that, correct? We are confused with that mechanism. But what is mechanism, for example? Mechanism on its own is something that really doesn't exist. That's why, I like the sound of this. I actually don't really know. But I like this sound of Einstein's, theory of relativity. It's because of my own, our own thing called Tyndall. In Tibet we have Tyndall. From the time frame point of view or from the quantum physics point of view, correct? It's very true, actually. If you bring it into the Buddhist point of view, it's actually going to say that this is the way how you see emptiness. I'm again saying I'm no scientist. I actually really don't know the real meaning of that. But it sounds very good to me, actually, the theory of relativity. I just say that to my friends very shamelessly because they're my friends. So they don't care, I don't care. We hear something, I say something, they hear something, they say something, I hear something. There's no concept, but there is something, correct? There's something, like us. It's all in the air. You need to grab it, right? So there is no grabbing, there is no being grasped. It's all a bluff. But that's the reality, actually. No, really, if you understood how everything's a bluff, that's how you see the ultimate truth, correct? When you don't see it, we could say you are seeing the relative truth. Actually, you're seeing the bluff. All right, we'll, we'll take it easy, okay? I mean, I will take it easy. I need to take it easy because I don't really know much, so. But I'm saying all of this very shamelessly. Yeah. And then, like it says, for example, rank is similar. Rang sim chakja chenla tenyul me. It's very beautiful, you know. Okay, what does it say in English? Our mind, Mahamudra, likewise has no support. It's true. Rang sim chakja chem. He says that our mind, what is Mahamudra? Like I said many times, he's saying it's your mind. Besides your mind, there is no Mahamudra or any mudra for that matter, right? And this Mahamudra is without any base, without any ground of this, of that. It's ground free, actually. It's fixation free is a better word. It's a fixation free, but it's also ground free. Because we like to know, or we sort of, okay, I think from my point of view, I'm afraid of emptiness. So my mind needs, something to hold on. If there's nothing to hold on, like, oh wow, there's nothing. Oh, actually, because you create this concept of something and you hold on to, that's why we have the fear, like self. Self is a bluff, 100%. But no, I am self. I'm this. I want that. It's all I. Where's the I? No, really, you tell me where's the I. I'm very sure you cannot pinpoint. You can say, I am I. That's all you can say. But that's not a proof. That's not a logic. How is I am I is a logic, actually. It's just a sentence. Your body, your mind. Okay, bodily, I guess we know. But mind-wise, which one, actually? The first one, the second one, or the third one? Mind can only be understood from the point of view of instances, correct? Otherwise, how would you explain mind? So there are instances. Let's say the present moment of the mind, and the past moment of the mind and future moment of the mind. But they are all instances. They're all gone. As soon as there's a present is in the process of the past, correct? It's very true. It's not like present stays and then boom, okay, that's the past. No, actually. It's the process. It's passing. It's always passing on. Anyway, it's too much to say. So that's why it says our mind is Chagchen Chembo, the Mahamudra. But you must know that this mind is really Dharma Dhatu, really emptiness. If you want, like some word, that's what it meant. When it says it has no object, it has no ground of any kind. So therefore, actually, that is why it is, Mahamudra. So that's why this is how you meditate. Literally saying that Ma Chö Nyung Me Ngong To Le La Sho. Actually, this is where we really need to sit in meditation. Okay, so like it says here, no remedying anything, relax, settle in the unborn primordial state. According to Tibetan, there are okay, that's just one word actually. This is again, like I'm saying, from the viewpoint of view. So the view is really the union of emptiness and clarity, or the nature of the mind. So how do you experience that? He's saying that. You experience that when you do not do anything about it. Just let it be. We create too much concept. This is number one, number two, number three, and now boom, I go there. Such thing doesn't exist. Just he's saying, Machepa is a very good word in Tibetan. Machepa meaning do not, conceptualize anything. Do not imagine anything. Do not think anything. Nyungmi, okay, that's Tibetan word. It means let it be actually. When we are sitting, meditating, let's say when we just sit down, we should stay in a very natural state of the mind. Okay, let me try to explain it differently. Normally, what we do, or at least what I do, is that when I sit in my meditation, then I start, I start following my thoughts. There are thoughts arising, thoughts ceasing. This is the process, correct? And we somehow, we somehow engage in these thoughts, in these concepts. So he's saying that don't do this. So then what I'm supposed to do? Let them arise, let them cease, just watch them, how they come, how they play out. So when you do not do anything, and then if you are really able to sit and watch and observe thoughts arising, and then of course if you do not do anything about it, what can they do? Nothing. All that will happen is they very naturally will just disappear. This is very much the nature of any kind of thought. So here the point is, like you're saying that, okay, so I will stick to this first. Therefore, it's very much like saying you remain in the present moment of the mind, try to be in this absolute awareness nature of the mind that has the ability to really, see how thoughts are rising, how thoughts are ceasing, but without engaging, without, doing anything about it, just letting them be. Then they just subside on their own, like they die on their own course. It's very true. The reason we have this uninterrupted emotion is because we don't let them be. We engage, we respond, we stir them up. Then there is uninterrupted emotions. Why? It's because that's what you are doing. You're constantly engaging, and then they get increased. They develop, they grow. So we have to let it be in this case. Machepa, okay, that's what the true Mahamudra experience or Vipassana meditation cannot be experienced if we didn't stop engaging, if we didn't stop engaging, I guess that's the word. Okay, let's see. So tawa. Tawa is Tibetan word meaning the view or nature of the mind. So moving on now. Yes, these words are very important. Relax. Relax actually is a very good word. I think I already said this yesterday, or perhaps this morning. we need to give time to our mind, to our thoughts, the gross thoughts, the subtle. First, I think it's the gross thought to settle. Okay, I cannot forcefully settle them. Can you? We cannot. Not possible. So what do you do is that, like this morning in the Shine part, you just sit down and about 10 minutes, in about 10 minutes time, let's say this some part of the thoughts subside on their own. And then there's a calmness. But in that calmness, you may not see it. There's still some thoughts there. It's called subtle. You won't be able to see it when there is this, more intense thoughts. It's like pain. When you have a very intense toothache, but along with that, you also had a back pain. You do not realize that you have back pain at all. But then you feel it when your toothache is all gone, when it all subsides. Oh, I also have pain somewhere here. But it was there all along. Correct? It's all along. And then when that back pain settles, you feel, oh, I have something in my leg too. So this is an example. Thought-wise, it's exactly like this. That's what he's saying. Relax here is from that point of view. Because meditation can never be born by forcing, it has to be born in a very natural way. Therefore, the relax part. Relaxation, two things are there in the meditation, right? One is relaxation. But if you're too relaxed, it's not a good, because you fall asleep, you will lose the meditation. So there's called loosening and tightening in a meditation. You need to be aware of that you are meditating. And then if you feel too stiff, sometimes we become too stiff because we may be putting too much effort. When you put too much effort, the effort itself disrupts the flow of the meditation. You don't want to do that. So then, with that realization, you want to, sit back and relax, actually. Okay? Then, let's say you will experience the meditation. And then at one point of time, then that's loosening. That's how you're loosening it. And then if you feel, a little bit of, let's say, sleepy, or usually it comes with a sense of, it's not really tiredness, but let's say you had a very good night's sleep. In the morning, you feel very good, but slowly you feel a little bit tired. You feel good. You feel you're not tired. But when you sit down, after 8 hours sleep or 10 hours sleep, you should be really, really not tired. But that's not true. When you first go, oh, I'm not tired. But then you sit down, you're like, no, actually, I'm a little bit sleepy, tired. It's like this in the meditation. So at this point of time, then called tightening, correct? Tightening, meaning tightening as in you try to then bring back your mindfulness, your awareness, put a little bit of effort to that. Anyhow, this go hand in hand. Abiding, analyzing, loosening, tightening. Remember these lines, okay? You abide, you analyze, and then when you analyze, when you observe, you are able to hold the meditation. Then loosening and tightening. Then this is something you have to do on your own. If you feel you need to, you are losing your meditation, object of your meditation, then of course you refocus. Then if you feel too tight, too excited, then you loosen up a little bit. Okay, so these go hand in hand. Loosening and tightening, observing and abiding. Observe, abide. You observe suffering, you experience compassion. Okay, just give me an example. You don't have to go too crazy about this analyzing thing. It's not a science we're talking about. You don't have to break down all the stones and see if what is there. Not that. When you observe someone has, pain, that's enough. You don't have to, like tear apart the person. No, really, it's just the thing, the knowledge. And then you very naturally will feel compassion, correct? Not pity, compassion. So you see, when you had this very good observation, the meditation compassion is born. It's actually really like all we need to do is that we need to keep up that view. Here, same, we need to keep up that view by observing, by abiding, by observing, by abiding. What we are doing, we're trying to really keep up the view. A little bit of observe, a little bit of abiding. But it's not that you must do it. You do it when you feel like you need to do it. Okay? Don't do it if you don't need to do it. It's not like, okay, we must all the time do that. That's actually wrong because this is not a meditation. These are the method which helps you to be in meditation. But if you are in meditation, if you are experiencing meditation, there's no need for any of this to do at all. Okay, root text number 3. Chingpa le na tolwa te tsomme. One of my favorite lines, actually. Perna namke chilte tongwa ngak paranjur. Tejin semchi semla tache na. Namto songa lame changchuk top. This in itself is entire Mahamudra, actually. Anyways, if bonds are relaxed, James Bond from UK, you have to release him from the prison. He is in the prison, and now MI or M5 or whatever, that guy, say he's in the prison. Now you have to look for that mother, in the James Bond. I don't remember her name. This very clever, very elegant woman. So he saw it long time ago. Tilopa saw the James Bond movie way before we knew any Hollywood movies. Too much movie, I guess, for the Khenpo. If bonds are relaxed, so many James Bond, right? All of the lineage of the James Bonds, we are liberated without doubt. This is really beautiful. This first line, okay, the first line, Jingpa Lena. He's just saying that you really, really need to learn how to let go of. We are too caught up in our emotions, in our thoughts. We create thought after thought after thought, and nets of thought, net and net and net of thought. It's like spider web, right? It's again Spider-Man. See, I said too much movie for the Khenpo. So it's a spider web. Really, the spider web, spider web. And then they die, correct? They actually die because they just tuk, and they can't breathe. They don't know that. They say, okay, I'll do more, and then they stop and die. We are like that, is what he's saying. So now, what you need? You need to cut that. You need to cut that. You need to release yourself from that, web of the nets. And this web in us is our thoughts, grasping. Actually, it's mainly the grasping. He's saying that if you learn how to release and free yourself from this grasping, okay, there is no doubt that you will be able to free yourself from that conceptualization. In that, so therefore, it's just like before, let it be. There's no doubt the liberation will come around once when you learn how to release yourself, from your own thoughts. We are caught up in our own thoughts. I actually know that. It's very true. I'm so much, even in the Dharma. Okay, we need to one thing. We think Dharma, yes, they are very important, they're very neat. Eventually, we also need to let go of that too. Let go of the attachment to the lineage, to the guru, to the yidam, all of that. For example, you can't say that attachment to gold or diamond is not trapping, is good or better. But attachment to something very ordinary, what can be a stone, useless stone, that is what you need to get rid of. It's not true. Both are same. It's not about being gold, your own grasping. Grasping is what brings you the suffering, not the stone, not the gold. This is why actually Tilopa says to Naropa, right? What's that line? Nangwe mi jing xianpe jing xianpa choji Naropa. Nangwe mi jing xianpe jing xianpa choji Naropa. It's very similar. So he's saying that Nangwe mi jing, Tilopa says to Naropa, not in this book, I don't know where he said it, but the appearance is not the one that traps you in samsara or bring you the suffering. But your own clinging, your own grasping, your own craving to the appearance, to your body, to your mind, is the one that's trapping you in the samsara. Therefore, you do not need to do anything as far as the appearances are concerned. All you need to do is that you really need to let go of your own grasping to the phenomena, to your body and to your mind. In that very moment, that is the liberation. Because liberation is from that. Liberation is from clinging, correct? There's no other liberation. But the clinging is a state of mind. A state of mind clings to a state of mind. Very, very similar. There are many lines like that. I brought it up because it's very practical for us too, really. It's not like we have to be Tilopa or Naropa to know this or to practice this. Every one of us, we should actually really practice this. So now we can see that we really, it's really, really important that we really look into our own mind, okay, as many times as possible. It's in here. Everything is in here, not out there. So why look out there when it's in here? You won't find anything, actually. You won't find a help out there because the problem is in here. It's like, giving a shot to something out there will not cure me. They have to give me the shot, and then I'll be cured. So we are like that, Am I awake? Okay. Meaning like medicine. I need the medicine. But if you give this medicine to somebody else, how is that going to help me? Because he's not the one with the sickness. I am the one with the sickness. I need to take it. So I think our mind is the one that's sick. It's sometimes not a very good word, no? We say he's a sick person. How can person be a sick, so to speak? But mind, yes. Well, silly. We are very silly. We are innocent. We are stupid. We are ignorant. We are confused. We are very entertaining at the end of the day. No, really. That's what many of them say, very entertaining. I think for realized beings, they look at us and like, what happened to these guys? They are all messed up. So that's how compassion is born, correct? Really, when you see them, our situation, here we are thinking we are the brightest among everybody. We created the whole material world, and now we have this AI, BI, CI, all that stuff. Like, wow, there's no one who is smarter than we as human beings. And they look at us like, oh, this poor guy, what did they do to the world? I'm just saying, I'm sorry, and just sometimes get a little bit carried away with this stuff. But it may be true. We did not need to do anything as far as the world is concerned. But why we are doing this? Again, I'm saying it will become maybe a little bit political, actually. I don't know politician, but when I say things, environment point of view, then all these things. But anyways, so yes, we are not only harming ourselves, we are also destroying our own homes. That is the degree of our stupidity, correct? Anyways, all right. I hope you guys are not too hungry. Well, you just had breakfast, so it's okay. Oh, I didn't finish the whole line. I only did the first one. But the others are, so it says, if bonds are relaxed, we are liberated without any. Okay, that part's done. And then example, just as looking into the space stops our sights of visual forms. Okay. If mind looks into mind, thought cease and unexalt and enlightenment is attained. Okay. This line, it's very poetic, mystic actually for me. Just as looking into space stops our sight of visual forms. It's actually saying that this is the metaphor, but it's saying when we stare up in the sky, what do you see actually? The more and more you stare, the less and less you see. Because there's nothing to be seen, I'm guessing, So like, okay, this is perhaps what it's saying. This is a metaphor. Likewise, now from the meditation point of view, the more and more you look into your mind, the less and less you find. Because there's nothing to be looked at. In reality, the mind doesn't exist, so what you're looking at exactly. If you find something, you're going wrong, my friends. You don't want to find anything. There's nothing to be found, correct? How can Dharma Dhatu be found? How can Dharma Kaya be found, actually? If it can be found, it has to be a phenomena, an existence. And here we are saying, no, it's not a phenomenon, not in existence. And yet, you find it. Oh, here's the Dharmakaya. Look. No. It's okay now. From the meditation point of view, like I said, this all of these lines will be saying exactly the same thing. So please don't think I'm repeating. Actually, Tilopa is repeating. I'm sorry, but I shouldn't say that. A very big bad karma for me. So please, on behalf of me, do the purification during the sojourn. uh, the method was to look into your own mind, correct? So now let's say I do that. I try to see what's in there. What's in there. The deeper and deeper I go, the less and less I see. Right? Actually, that's what it meant. So I think we got it, the meaning wise. So now when you, this is Lakthong. Now when you meditate, look, like into your mind, what's there, what's happening. Generally, we see, the way we do that, it's called analytical meditation, is where is this coming from? Let's say there is a thought. So exactly what is the source of that thought? Now it's here, okay, it's here, then where is this mind abiding? What is its abode? Ne, right? Abode. And then if it is ceasing, where it is ceasing, how it is ceasing. See, meditation point of view. No, really, I'm not joking actually. This is the way how it should be done. And this is how then you will have a very conclusive realization that it's free from arising and abiding and ceasing. And this is when you then hold that view and sit there. Not when you're doing it. Got it? Okay. Sounds simple. It may be simple, maybe we complicate it perhaps, but this is true, no, really. It should not be complicated at all. But we complicate it because of lack of wisdom, actually. As far as I'm concerned, it's really true. I complicate everything. It's very straightforward, very simple. Then why we don't get it? It's the question you ask yourself, I ask myself. I'm a very tricky person, so I gave you a job to do. No, really. So we can see each stanza, you read it, you sit down, you try to understand that, okay? You read it with your own understanding, with your own experience, absorb that meaning. Don't focus too much on the word later on. Just follow your own instincts. Follow your own instinct in terms of the how you understand that. And then you want to really, you really want to go deeper into your instinct, how your instinct is recognizing it, how it's interpreting it, how it's defining it, and then how your mind, the meditative mind is experiencing it. So then it becomes your own sphere of meditation. You see now you are really, really in your own sphere of meditative state of the mind, we could say that. And that meditative state of the mind is the one that now we can say, the Mahamudra in that regard. But it is in the end where you have that, when you have that recognition. Recognition of what? Well, whatever your recognition is there. because I can't speak on your behalf, so how I'm supposed to know that? So, yes, okay, it actually, in Tibetan, uh, thought cease, unexcelled enlightenment is achieved. Namto tsonga lame changju top. Very beautiful. Actually, it's true. It says, as soon as the as soon as the flow of our mundane thought ceases, in that very moment, what appears is the inborn natural state of the mind. It's simultaneous, actually. It's very nice. That actually means that until the time our flow of our mundane thought process, even the most subtle one, comes to an end, we have not yet completely experienced the wisdom, okay? The wisdom, the prajna. You have partially, yes, to a great deal actually. Like let's say you are on the first bodhisattva bhumi or second or third. So why do we have these bhumis? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is how it goes to show. It means when if there's still very subtle thought process, that means there is still very subtle, flow of the obscurations. Obscurations. Very subtle, almost unrecognizable underlying layer. We have layers and layers and layers of obscuration. Okay, it's cutting through these obscurations. That's how we get to the nature of the mind. So the nature of the mind is way down there. And this is all obscurations. So we remove them one after the other, one after the other, one after the other. Eventually, there is this one most subtle layer is there. From the Dharma language point of view, we say Vajra like Samadhi. Whatever that means, that actually. When you experience this will then remove the last layer of the obscurations. All you see is your Buddha nature mind. So this could, from the duration point of view, this could happen in a split of a second, like in Manjushri Namasangate. Manjushri Namasangate. It means chanting the names of Manjushri. Okay. There's a line that says, okay, I'm trying to put it in the right way. One attains Buddhahood in a second. In a second. That in a second is this second actually. He's referring to that very end. Okay, to that very end. That will be the end of your bodhisattvahood, let's put it this way. Because in the next moment, you will appear as a Buddha. I'm giving a very gross example, okay, so that we can understand this properly. Mentally speaking, physically, you will be the same person. But in your mind, you have no obscuration whatsoever. Then what you become? Omniscient. We call Tamche Chenpa, omniscient. So that means bodhisattvas are omniscient, but not like the omniscient as a Buddha. a very small, tiny cataract, correct, whatever it is, obscures you from seeing things. It's actually like this. You even don't really see it, but there's this cataract. Whatever it can be, strain over here. Is that strain? Can I say strain over here? Daniel? Like, I don't actually know. The hair, a piece of hair. It doesn't sound very good, a piece of hair. Piece of cloth, yes. Strain of hair. Well, anyways, it's very tiny bit of that. You don't really. Oh, that thing. Whatever they are saying is that thing. Yes. Anyway, you got what I am trying to say. Very powerful, right? We need to know that you can see how powerful the ignorance is actually. It's that powerful. It's not that there's one huge mountain like ignorance. That would be very easy to destroy actually. The bigger it is, the easier to destroy. It's the nature of the law. But if something very tiny, first you need to find it in order to destroy that. You try to hit it, it's gone. Where is this? It pops up somewhere out there. It takes lots and lots of effort. We have the example of, stains on the cloth. This very tiny stain that you almost don't see is the one you put the most effort. I tried many times before. We had these things, the monks wear. So usually it's all black. This not today, but I made sure you guys don't see it. But usually over here. And we don't wash it for months in room tech. The water is like, if you touch your finger, it almost breaks it. No, really. But we do like this. And then we run. No, it's really fact, actually. So then we have very thick, very rich color, all black. And then we have the white stuff. What do you call that? Lice? I guess you guys even don't know what that means. It's lice. We call shik. When you don't wash anything, when your body is warm, you give birth to them. We have this one in room tech back in time. There was this one person. He liked to run around naked. So we call him the crazy, I forgot his name actually, crazy something. But he's a very nice guy. Where he sleeps, full of those white lice. You can do like this and they will just boom, 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 boom. No, it's also for Tibetan people too. Like Khenpo Chok, I mean, now he doesn't have, but if your hair like that, if you don't wash it for months, you'll be running through here and here, everywhere. So tell him, ask him, Khenpo, do you have that thing? No, okay, so the jokes apart. So I brought it up because stains, yes, stains. Okay, it's because the stains. I mean, there was no really connection anyway. It's just okay. So yes, I mean, we used to wash that. So when I tried it, what really happened was I have to tear it apart because this one go away is too thick and it's like too strong. So I couldn't wash it away. We all tried. Then we do like this, and then it's torn apart. It took a lot of effort. Anyway, coming back, so that means our, okay, now example wise, let's come back to what we are learning. So let's say anger, jealousy, pride, compassion, it's like that. It's there, within us. This very underlying emotions are there. We need to be very careful with that. We could call it the karmic obscurations, karmic mental obscurations. It's very true. So that's why, again, something in general. Personally, I say personally, but I think, as a Tibetan monks and lamas, we pretty much may be same from that point of view. Of course, we do meditation and whatever we can, but at the same time, we also take refuge in the yidams, in the lama, in the guru, and seek their blessing so that they remain, sleep, so that they don't come up. Because they cannot exactly, on my behalf, yidam cannot really, remove it for me. But at least I, for the sake of my own, for the sake of my own mind, so I ask yidam, please don't let those stuff underneath come up. Please keep them, there. Yeah, it's fearful actually, because blessings of the lamas and the yidams and all that, it does exist. I cannot really pinpoint, but it's very important. Therefore, we need to be, like I said before a few times, connection needs to be born, our connection, our tamsik is very important. But the more important is the harmony. It needs to be very pure. When it's pure, there is harmony. When there's harmony, then auspiciousness comes around. Then things really, really function well. Again, something in general, but it's also good for meditation, really. We need many things, not just one thing. Like I said days before, we need, merit. We need to accumulate lots of merit for the meditation. And of course, most importantly, we really, really need to keep a very good discipline. And then the tamsik, samaya, all of them becomes a very profound outer condition to help our inner realization, inner meditation experience. We need that condition. Only looking at the mind then, may not be enough. Now you can see. Maybe when you're too advanced, yes. But as of now, even for me, in order to do that, I need that, that base. So something to keep in mind. I see. All right, I think I'm gonna stop here. So if, I will take questions, if there is any questions.
Khenpo, when you mention that one needs merit for meditation, uh, for me, merit was up to now quite general, something which supports my spiritual path. But would it be understood like when at the end of a practice you dedicate, that you, in addition, make wishing prayers like from the third Karmapa? Yes, how to understand, accumulate merit, supportive for meditation.
Yes, actually that's quite right. That's actually right. That's how we, let's say, first we accumulate a merit, and then what kind of form that merit takes place is very much dependent on the way how you dedicate it actually, right? So that's true. So we dedicate it for enlightenment, for meditation, then the merit takes form accordingly, so to speak. Like you, first let's say we engage in 6 paramitas, generosity, discipline, all that, we do our best. But then the dedication is very important in order to give a form to that. So it's like what will be the activity of that merit. So that, let's say, decision or will be made according to the way how you wanted it, right? So that is how you actually dedicate them for the sake of enlightenment. Like we say, for meditation in order to become Buddha, for example. So that's true. That's how you do it. But generally, we engage in the ground of merit, especially the first 3 paramitas are really the ground of the merit, actually. Generosity, discipline, patience. It's the very ground of that, so to speak. And then the last 2 are actually ground of accumulation of wisdom because it's connected with vipassana, shamatha and vipassana. And then the joyful effort includes, every one of them needs effort, so it's included in all of them. But that's true. That's how you, that's how we decide, to dedicate our merit actually. Therefore, you can dedicate it for anyone, for anything, I should say.
Thank you, Khenpo. Could you clarify what is exactly the difference between shamatha without object and the Mahamudra Vipassana that you just explained?
Okay. So actually the difference is shamatha is, in shamatha, the involvement of pragyana is, very little. But in Mahamudra, then it's all about pragyana actually. It's all about pragyana because it's the insight meditation, so to speak. And at the same time, it's actually like asking difference between shamatha and vipassana, same thing. In order to, let's say, strengthen, in order to improve our meditation, sometimes it's good to use variety of options so that, because you never know, what your mind will pick up. Perhaps your mind needs a particular object in order to experience the concentration, then you use the object. But it may be case that, the object may disrupt your meditation. Then you go objectless, let's say. So it's something that in shamatha, is something that the practitioners, alternate according to the way how it's actually required. Yeah. Other than that, there is a very big difference between, of course, shamatha and the Mahamudra. Shamatha, very generally speaking, shamatha meditation has the ability to subdue our emotions again, but it does not uproot the emotions. Because in order to uproot the emotions, you need the involvement of the pragyana, the wisdom. So therefore, it is only and only through Vipassana or Mahamudra that we can absolutely uproot and get, rid of the emotions, so to speak. Yeah, Daniel.
Thank you so much, Khenpo. My question is pretty close for last one question. It's about, I saw one text about, sorry for my English, um, about experiment, science experiment that made with Buddhists who made Vipassana and who made Vajrayana practice. And it's show that it's pretty different parts of brain used in this moment. And in this, like when I wrote it, I understood that it's very different practice that, like I understood, not possible to use together, because like you do one thing, and after this, when you do another thing, you like stuck together two parts, and it's like. Like in one part we disturb one thing, in another one we trying to calm that we disturbed before, and how we can like complete it together and how it can help us. And like after this I thought like for what we making practice for idam, for example, like we concentrate in idam, if we can make vipassana where we don't do nothing, like we just observe everything in this, and for what we need idam, like I don't understand at all.
Okay. All right, if I understood you correctly, then now from the neurological point of view, I have no idea, but so that's the brain part. But as far as the meditation is concerned, commonly there are two meditations. The first one is shamatha meditation, and the second, let's say, is the vipassana meditation, which also includes the Mahamudra. So they do not really, contradict each other at all. They do not disturb each other. Why? Like I was saying this morning and yesterday, that in order for us to experience vipassana, the emptiness, our mind needs to be very calm and very peaceful. So therefore, when we practice shamatha meditation then helps us to really subdue our gross mind, absolutely gross mind, and then our mind become, this is called calm abiding actually. Calm meaning it calms, it subdues, it reduces the intensity of the thought to the extent they only remain as a seed. They are no longer experienced as any thought. So therefore, once when that happens, then the possibility of really, of experiencing the nature of the mind is very, very high. So therefore, this is when we, let's say, transit, we transit from the shamatha to the vipassana, because that's actually possible, so to speak. So, yes, like, these two, let's say shamatha and vipassana, we could say that they are, Actually, though they go hand in hand. In reality, they go hand in hand. So, therefore, they do not contradict each other.
Yeah, but I mean that practice Shamathi Vipassana and practice idam practice, like when we
It's same, actually. It is also
same,
same.
because we imagine and
So all right, in the Vajrayana, the term is different. Like yesterday, Daniel was asking actually. In the Vajrayana, the meditation has two different names. One is called, the generation phase, which is Kerim, and then the other one is, the exhaustion phase or the dissolution phase. The name is different, but the meaning was is actually exactly same. When we are visualizing, let's say yidam, this is when it helps you to experience concentration actually. So therefore, it is connected to, also in shamatha, object-wise, you can use Buddha. You visualize Buddha or your guru, you focus on that, and you try to really, remain one-pointedly concentrated on that object, because they are, after all, an object. So yidam is an object, in this case, of that. So that's, let's say, connected to, relatively with the meaning of calm abiding. And then the other one, which is Dzogrim, the dissolution part, that's actually connected with, you can see it means, the abiding in the nature of the mind, basically, in the nature of the mind. Abiding in the emptiness nature of the mind, we can see it. Then this is what we already have actually already gone through. We're basically staying in a state of a mind without any conceptualization of any kind, actually, so to speak. So they are same, the Yidam practice, and from the meditational point of view, it's actually same, so to say. So, yeah.
and then yeah. So yeah, as you was explaining, and actually it's connected to the previous two questions. So if we try to meditate on a idam, but we have, this kind of view which you've been talking about, explaining now. For example, for me, it's a little bit kind of hard to think of it that, yeah, there is something, for example, in front of me, and we have all these sadhanas are quite elaborated. The light comes in, out, and stuff like that. So
Yes, it depends. Yesterday I used one word in Tibetan we call tuche, elaborated actually. In reality, all we are doing in the Yidam or in the Guru Yoga is actually same, is we are trying to really picture the image. In order to picture the image, back in time they didn't have pictures, photos, tankas. So then they have to be told, maybe color should be this, mudra should be that, this and that. But now you can just look at it, close your eyes, and then you try to really, try to see that. So it's not elaborated from that point of view. But at the end of that, the actual meditation is not, not the building phase. Meaning, like, of course, you build the image. Once when you build the image, then you have let's say you have a very clear and conclusive picture, an image of that. then we, try to hold that thought, right? Hold that picture, hold that image. So then you can see it's concentrated, not the process. The process is not the meditation actually. So it's the process, but then through that process you come to that conclusion. It's always the conclusion actually in that part. But yes, it's a good question actually. So here, let's say simply put, it's both the same. So like it's same as you meditate on your breath also. When you exhale, inhale, you're doing the same thing, correct? Instead of that, you see image of Buddha. So therefore both is same in the sense that you remain one-pointedly concentrated on that object, whichever object you may choose. So that concentration that you have experienced, regarding that object, state of that mind, concentration is the one-pointed concentration.
If I understand clearly that Idam or Buddha in this meditation, it helps us to concentrate. Like, for example, I practice few times Vipassana, and when we practice the Vipassana, we focused on the breath or in some feeling in our body, or if you hear something, and your concentration, like just not fixed, like watching there. And if I understand clearly, Buddha form or any kind of picture help us to concentrate and don't look like everywhere that come, or for what? Like, because for my understanding, when we concentrate for Buddha or any another kind of form, in this moment we like making our mind more more active. No, because not about like just calm. Do you understand what I mean?
So, all right. What you are saying is slightly, well, it's about mindfulness actually. It's very common nowadays in the world. It's called mindfulness of walking, mindfulness of touching, mindfulness of actually even talking. That actually exists in Buddha. So that is also meditation. So in reality, whether whether it is the mindfulness practice of walking, or whether it is the mindfulness practice of feeling, at the end of the day, what you're really trying to do is that you are really trying to, it's not about the walking, it's not about the feeling, but it is about awareness, actually. It is about the mindfulness that you are trying to, you are just simply using these different methods. But result of that remains same. Result of that is mindfulness, which is then, actually one point of concentration. So we are speaking about different methods, the process. But the outcome is same, actually. Outcome is meditation. So that's how you experience meditation. So what is that meditation? If somebody would ask you, I guess you would just say, calm abiding. And then that's true. Or shamatha.
And is it just like different forms in this, not more?
So there are different, let's say, like in Theravadan tradition, also in Vinaya, they talk about that. So one could use those, you can practice different types of mindfulness. You are actually talking about that, different types of mindfulness, which is also good to, to improve our meditation. So it's actually, because it will really help you to, experience the one-pointed concentration. So it's all method. Yeah. So I think we'll now, say the dedication here.
Thank you.
Because you have to soon eat. Sunam dia tam che zikpa nye to na nye pe da na pam che. Che ga na che ba la ye tu pa ye se be an so le an do wa ri sho. Ge wa en de ye ke wo ye ke sunam ye she zo zo. Sunam ye she le chung wa tam ba ke nye to pa ri sho. Minjura lombo kuya tashi sho yen la ya tu chu sungge tashi sho thadala temya tukche tashi sho gyalvya kuson tukche tashi sho. Thank you. Enjoy your meal, lunch.
So, dear friends, kind reminder from the office. If any of you came before we started the course and you stayed in Kibi, let's say from 29 to 30th,